Hello everybody and welcome back to Nostalgic Train. We have to go. We can walk across the river, it's fine. There's a memory here we need to start off with. A white glob of something is bobbing between the stones of the gently flowing river. I crouch down and pick it up amid the warm summer air, paper dampened by the cool water sticks to my fingers. The water damage means I can hardly read any of it. Seems like a mixture of different papers. The part I can read looks into like a plane ticket. Destination is somewhere overseas. Someone was trying to leave the country. So why is their ticket an expensive and important item down here in the river? Was it even used? In the same moment I'm surrounded by white light again and the real world comes back into view. I'm inside an old house with majestic beams across the ceiling. Slap. The sound of a hand on a cheek rings out. That's it, I'm finished with you. A young girl who still looks in her teens is pressing her hand to her cheek and glaring at an elderly man. Could be her grandfather, no, more like her father. His face is bright red and he's breathing hard in anger. At the side there's a young man sitting in a suit. His eyes are round in surprise at the father suddenly hitting his daughter, frozen in place in surprise. I'll never allow this. The old man is thin and doesn't look in good condition. He's breathing hard, struggling to overwhelm the young girl. Hearing the commotion, the neighbours have also started to gather. Hey, what's going on here? Hitting your daughter? You finally lost it, old timer? They come into the house with the mud from the field still on their shoes, grabbing the old man and holding him back. Yukiko, are you okay? Yukiko is still holding her cheek, tears in her eyes. But luckily her father doesn't seem that strong. She stands up and goes over to grab her bag from the corner of the room. I'm never coming back here again. This is the last time we'll ever see each other. With that, she runs out. With the sound of the door slamming closed, my awareness returns to my body. Seems this ticket is involved in this dispute between the old father and his daughter. Something about her trying to leave home. I cling to the wet paper, but nothing else comes to me. I look around, seeing if there's anything else that might provide a link to the real world. This ticket was washed down the river and got caught between these rocks. That means it had to have come from the river. There's a spot where you can look down over the waterfall up the steps in front of me. Maybe it fell from up there. I need to take a look. There. There's more paper here, half buried in the dirt. I pick it up. It's another piece of a plane ticket. That's not all, there are other scraps of paper here. I pick them up and try to jigsaw them back together. It takes me a moment to work out what I'm looking at. A portrait neatly drawn in pencil. I close my eyes and think of the person drawn there, and light spreads around me again. This time it's just the father from before. He's standing up here looking out over the waterfall. He has the ticket and the pencil drawing in his hand. The picture is a young, beautiful woman. She looks a little like the girl from the previous vision, perhaps a little older. The face of her sister then, or perhaps her mother. The man looks at it intently, held in his dry and wrinkled hand, and then he scrunches it up. Then he rips them up using both hands and throws the scraps towards the waterfall. They flutter down like beautiful butterflies. He stands there a while longer, as though in a daze. Finally looks up and heads off back towards his house, his feet dragging behind him. I wonder at the power of his emotions. They could make him want to crush the dreams of his daughter. Is it purely a response to not wanting her to leave? I should follow after him. He heads off straight down the path. That's where the memory ends. I decide to follow and look for further clues along the path. I see the back of the man again. He continues along this path. Oh, you can run. There you go. I can see the mind of the old man. He is seething with anger, beset by sadness. Down here. This is strange. I can't see the old man any longer, although I'm pretty sure this is his house. This isn't going to work if I can't follow his memories. Focus, focus. I repeat that to myself, closing my eyes and straining with my other senses. Over there, I think I hear voices from that direction. I look toward the ocean and see a faint light. I should head over there and see what it is. I hear a man's voice murmuring gently. The voice of a young woman replies, a little shy, a little playful. A man in his mid-20s, dressed in a perfectly maintained suit, is talking with a young woman. It's the two I already saw back in her father's house. The man is sitting close to the girl named Yukiko, with his arm casually wrapped around her shoulders. He has glasses with sparkling silver rims and beautifully styled hair that remains completely in place even beneath the blazing sun. His skin is a little pale, making his white teeth pop when he smiles. She seems open to the kindness he's showing her. Her cheeks gently flush as they talk. Hey, think of it like this. This side of the tracks is the world that you grew up in. A place filled with restraints and pleasant memories. All the things that could hold you back. But you've obtained wings. Beautiful wings. But wings of talent. Oh please, I wouldn't call myself talented. I'm telling you the truth. Was there a single soul who didn't praise your winning entry in the art exhibit? But even if you have such beautiful wings, they're meaningless if you don't know how to fly. That's what I need. Yeah. Once you know how to fly, you can easily leave this dusty old world behind and cross to the other side. Cross the oceans, cross the skies, and live the life that you want, Yukiko. My board are ready to sign off on supporting your studies overseas. I'm here to teach you how to fly, that's all. There's nothing for you to be worried about. So this girl is a talented artist and the man is here from some organisation that wants to support her studying overseas. But I'm still worried. Worried about what? What could you ever need to worry about? With me here alongside you, I'll help to convince your father. You'll see. I pick up the rest of the situation from more fragments of their conversation. It seems she submitted papers stating her guardian's approval, the organisation that wishes to sponsor her, but only by forging her father's signature. This man has now come to try and help her explain the situation to the old man. It's more than that though, something deeper. I've always had my place in life pushed onto me. That's been the only place I've had. To just fly away from all that, like you say, that doesn't feel like me at all. She starts to explain everything. Her father suffered a great deal when he was younger, losing his family in the war, and finally got married later than most people. Yukiko was his only daughter, a gift late in his life. She had lost her mother at a young age. My mother always seemed so fragile, like she knew, thinking back, was somehow aware of the impending end of her life. I have memories of her worrying about whether her husband and daughter would be able to carry on without her. Worries not from a financial perspective, but a mental one. I think now that maybe those are false memories though, created as I observed my father become more difficult after her passing and become harsher on me. Watching his suffering was harder for me than her death itself. The fear that caring for me was placing a burden on my father cast a long shadow on my young heart. He was sad that she was gone, but didn't seem happy at all that I was still alive. Maybe I was unconsciously aware of that. Once, when something sad happened and I was crying, my father called out my mother's name, muttering to himself, asking why she was gone. I was always treated as less, handled as less than my mother, the woman who could never return. As I became a teenager, my father became even harder to handle, even more isolated, and I talked with him less and less. He would get angry or complain at me, purely driven by his own personal feelings. He didn't feel at all like he was considered me to be his daughter. Like he had sorry, I missed that one. The only person he could truly accept in his heart in all of this wide world was his mother, the one person who was no longer here. He had no interactions with our neighbours. I started to think of him as a weak, pathetic human being. After school each day, I wanted to spend as little time in the house with him as possible. I would take my sketchbook and go out alone to the beach, into the woods, and start drawing. I especially love it around here, along this path leading down to the ocean. I might have found some friends to play with, but there was something lonely about me, just like my father. Until my third year of high school, I'd only really sketched scenery. Then one day I wanted to hold onto my fading images of my mother's face, and so I drew her in pencil. That's that piece that won the prize. I drew it to escape from the place I was being forced into. So it's strange to suddenly be told that I do have wings, that I can finally be free. The girl finishes speaking, looking down at her own 2 feet. The man listens quietly to her entire story and then tells her again that she had nothing to worry about and everything is going to be fine. The girl turns her head, embarrassed. After you've gone over, I'm going to be coming right away on business. We'll see each other again almost immediately. Casually places his hand on her own. At those words, her expression brightens immeasurably and she looks up at the man. They spend a minute in silence and then the man speaks again. For today, let's explain the whole study abroad process to your father. Then we'll have him meet with the board in Tokyo, and after that you'll just have to wait for your departure date. All the hassle, all the red tape, all the money, will handle everything. You don't need to worry. The man checks his watch and suggests they get back to the house. They walk away together. I watch them go and see a light beyond them. That same house again. I should go and see what happens next. There's more paper on the veranda. Next to it is what looks like that girl's bag. The paper is a plain ticket as I expected, but not yet ripped up. Upon noticing these things, the same kind of scene fills my head that I saw when I picked up the ripped ticket on the riverbed. The father, daughter, and the same young man are all sitting around a table in a tatami-floored room. This seems to be just before the girl was slapped and stormed out. The relationship between the two is clearly strained, with tension humming in the air, as they avoid any talk beyond anything absolutely necessary. You're going overseas without even consulting me? You haven't even graduated high school yet. I can't allow this. His daughter obstinately states she will leave as soon as she graduates. What have you ever done for me as my father? Why do you get so arrogantly oppose my dreams now? Her words are sharp, as though unleashing all of her pent-up disappointment with her father. Her expression says she's only imparting something that's already been decided and her father should have no further say. On the table there are copies of her entry documents for an overseas art school, her plane ticket and all sorts of material showing how far this idea has come. It's clearly far more than just a pipe dream. His daughter makes her final proclamation. She's going into Tokyo to meet with the people setting up her studies overseas. The old man grabs his daughter's hand. Please, at least stay under the anniversary of your mother's death. I have my own future all ahead of me, but all you ever talk about is mother. You're cold to everyone, unloved by anyone. Just live in your loneliness with your memories of a dead woman. That's harsh. That's when the old man raises his hand against his daughter. The neighbours rush in at the commotion just like before. The daughter grabs her bag and dashes out of the house, heading towards the station, her shoes not even on properly. The man gives a quick bow to the father and heads out after her. The father watches them leave in stunned silence. Alone again, he stands up and takes a sealed letter from the back of a drawer. On the envelope it says, Dear Yukoko, congratulations on your high school graduation. Your loving mother. A letter for her daughter that she left before she passed away. Is this how everything I love must leave me? The old man mutters to himself in the dark room. He looks down at the document and then notices something on the ground, a piece of paper, her ticket for the flight overseas. It seems she dropped it in a hurry to grab her bag and rush out of the house. Then there's the picture that her daughter drew of her mother. Her father picks it up and looks at it for a while. Having seemingly made up his mind, he leaves the house and heads for the falls. After watching him go, the scenery blurs and fades. I think it over, but then a different scene appears before me. The girl is crying, looking at her father with anger seething in her eyes just before her departure. She discovered the pieces of the plane ticket. Why? Why would you do this? She stands up and quietly leaves the house looking shell-shocked and hollow. It's time for the train to Tokyo to depart. She can't make it for the plane now. If she had found out about this sooner, if she had a little more knowledge about how these things work, she might have been able to resolve the issue. But she doesn't seem to have the capacity for such rational thought at the moment. She's depressed, dejected, and nothing more. Her father lets her go, his expression completely unchanged with no hint of what he's thinking. Maybe we've got to go to the train station. Oh, hang on now, there's some memories here. I look around but I've lost sight of her. I need to keep searching. Memory over here. No sign of her this way either. Maybe she went to the station. Yeah, there's something there. There's two things there. Maybe she's over it. If she's over here, then at least we can continue. Oh, Yukiko, all set to head out. I asked my daughter to come and see you off, but she's got something else on today. I'm sorry about that. What's this? I thought Yukiko was leaving today, but she left the station and went back towards her house. It looks like Yukiko made a call from me, but no one picked up. Okay, there's some memory over there though. Whenever she got upset as a child, she always used to hide in the bamboo grove next to the temple. Is she around here then? Is she up there? She wouldn't have got up here, would she? I don't think she's up here. I'll have a look though. There's no memories up here. So let's see if we can find her. Where are you, Yukiko? Oh, hang on there. Is that a memory? No, that's just smoke. Someone set a fire. Is she in here? She's not around here. I'll see if I can find her. Where are you, Yukiko? There's a memory inside the station we haven't actually looked at. Is she actually in the station? I can't see her at the station either. No, she's not here. Didn't they say she went back to the house? This one's going to be a difficult one, isn't it? I'm just looking for her, I can't even find her. Where's she gone? Oh, I can't see her. I don't think she'll be back by the school. Here. I don't think she would have crossed over, would she? Or is she in here? Ah, there's a memory. There's a memory here. I found something. Here we go. She's walking towards the ocean, tears flowing down her cheeks. This way or that way? There she is. Maybe this is the spot she talked about, where she would come to sketch and get away from her father. She continues to walk forward and steady on her feet. Maybe she's imagining herself flying on those wings she was promised. In the distance, I see the train depart the station and start to pick up speed. Yukiko still isn't looking ahead of herself. All she can see is a future that's now lost to her. Nothing more. Before I even realise it, the train is right there. It's approaching at high speed. Everything is smothered by its clattering for one instant of action. The oncoming train hits her, sending her body flying through the air as though she really... oh god. She really has grown incredible wings. It's strange how beautiful I think she looks in that moment. I don't know if this was born from self-destructive impulse, but of course she doesn't actually have wings and crumples back to the ground almost at once. Blood pools around her. The train carries on, no one aboard aware of what happened. Then a dark world lingers for a long time. Eventually someone living nearby notices her lying there. People start to panic at once, calling for an ambulance. The nurse from the school rushes to the scene. There's no sign of her father in the crowd. She's placed on a stretcher and carried towards the station. Can't believe it. All because her father ripped up her ticket. This surely isn't what he wanted to happen. Reeling from this tragic turn of events, I decide to head towards the station to see how everything finally plays out. She committed suicide by getting run over by a train. She just feels like... I think she felt like there was nothing left for her. Oh, there it is. People from the town are gathered in front of the station. They all have serious faces. I hear them mention a funeral. So she did pass away. The accident killed her. I grip my hands, almost unable to bear it. But no, I listen more, and it seems a man has died, her father. He'd been sick for a long time but never went to the doctor, then suddenly collapsed. His daughter survived and was discharged from hospital a while ago, but severed all ties with her father and never returned to Nasagori. One of the people comments that with her father having destroyed her dreams of studying overseas, Yukiko probably won't even return for the funeral. I'm unable to withstand the pain of this reality and shake my head from side to side until the real world fades away. How did it all come to this? The gossiping people and their gossiping voices fade and the empty Nasagori reappears around me. I realise I still have the plane ticket in my hand. It's the one that fell onto the floor when the three of them were talking in the house. In the world I just saw, the father found this and ripped it up. So what if he had never found it? We're going to go on the train again. There it is, the sound of the railway crossing. Am I meant to ride the train again? With this ticket in hand, am I meant to save this sad world? Yep, let's do it. I did change the viewpoint. Oh, it is after, okay. Skip the train ride? No, we'll ride on the train. I can't actually change the view of the train. Let's stand here. This is a very sad game. First episode, very sad. Second episode, so far, very sad. But we found out in the first episode that even though we saved the boy from drowning, he had a sad end to his, well, a sad life really, didn't he? He got bullied. Treated like he was nothing. And in this one, is it going to be more of the same? Even if we do stop the man from the dad from dying, and if it's possible to stop them dying and stop them from arguing, is it going to end up just as sad? Okay, let's go and see what happens now. Let's head back to the house. Another scene from the real world appears before me. Yukiko has a bag that looks too big for her over one shoulder and is dragging a trunk behind her. She's walking around the station looking all around with an anxious expression on her face. All the meetings are finished. She's back from Tokyo and the time to depart is almost at hand. She's got all her things packed up and come to the station, but with one caveat: she can't find her plane ticket. She's asking all the people around her if they've seen it, a piece of paper, a precious ticket. Then she's in the phone box, perhaps calling the man from the Tokyo organisation, but she can't seem to reach him. With a prayer on my lips, I take the ticket in my hand and place it on the edge of the bench. She comes over and slumps down on the bench, shaking her head, unsure what to do next. Then she looks to the side and finds the ticket that I just put down. Her eyes widen and she reaches out for it. Whatever is this doing here? She can't believe it. She traces her name with her finger, making sure it's actually her own ticket. I lost it. I'm sure it was lost. Of course, after telling my father that day, I dashed out the house with my bag still open. Then I came to the station to head to the meeting in Tokyo. The ticket must have dropped out then. This is a quiet station, so it's just been sitting here the whole time. Her expression brightens as she explains the situation to herself. I found it. Thank you for your help. She speaks loudly to the station staff and the old couple waiting at the bus stop. The old lady smiles happily, taking her hand and telling her to be careful on her travels. She asks if Yukiko will be back in the future. She knows the girl is going very far away. No, I doubt it. After I graduate, I'm planning on living over there. I'll find work there too. I probably won't be back until I'm really settled in, but please write. The old lady gives a wry chuckle, commenting on how there isn't much here and that she probably won't want to see her stubborn old father either. Hugo responds by casting her eyes downwards, silently accepting this. Feels to me like she may never return. Her heart is filled with relief at finding the ticket, hope for her studies abroad, the release of escaping from her father, and her dreams of meeting up with the man from the organisation once she gets to her destination. She proudly climbs aboard the almost deserted train, trunk and all, and leaves Natsuguri behind. No idea if she'll succeed overseas. She hasn't made up with her father prior to her departure, and she may never get another chance to repair the relationship. But having finally obtained her wings, she flies freely into the sky, a sky where huge clouds and a deep, merciless, massive blue spreads before her. There are some older ladies standing around talking in front of the station. Maybe I can hear something about Yukiko's time overseas. A friend in Tokyo happened to tell me something. Pure coincidence? There's that man in a suit who was around here from the overseas study group. He came with Yukiko a few times, right? A friend of mine knows him, or knows of him at least. She said he's quite the playboy. Every time she sees him, he has a different woman on his arm, apparently. I hear more gossipy voices. Someone else in the ground suddenly points, "Hey, look over there." Everyone turns to look towards the bridge. It's Yukiko's father. He's walking towards the station with a dazed look on his face. I'm glad to see he seems to be clinging on in this world, but he doesn't look to be in top condition. The sickness is probably close to taking him. The gossips say nothing. Embarrassed looks on their faces, just waiting for the man to pass by. But he comes up and speaks to them, his voice dry and raspy. "She's left, has she?" he asks. "Yeah, I told her to go do her best," one of them replies. "You saw her off, that's good then. She's a lonely child like me." He looks at the empty, quiet platform for a moment and then totters off on an unsteady feet again. His retreating back looks sad. In the world before I hid the tickets, he was a terrible father who crushed his daughter's dreams, but something nags at me. He crosses the bridge and heads away again. I decide to follow after him. That way. He walked towards the ocean. Oh, don't say he's going to do the same. The old man crosses the tracks and then takes a look around, a little puzzle before I change things. This is the spot where his daughter was hit by the train. The young man stares blankly into the air, eyes unfocused, but looking exactly at the space where his daughter was sent flying by the train. Maybe he's momentarily being affected by something from another world. Then he snaps back to himself and continues on towards the 6 Jizo statues. Okay, that's right. The old man stops in front of the Jizo statues. It's like he's looking into some distant world again. I remember the stories behind the 6 Jizo. When people are reborn, they are placed into one of 6 worlds. It might be the human world, or a hell-like place, or heaven. Wherever someone is born, however their soul cannot escape from pain and suffering. The 6 Jizo are the ones who save those souls from their pain, with one for each of the possible 6 worlds. I realise he has placed his hands on what looks like a small pile of stones at the side of the statues. It seems to be something he has a close attachment with. He starts to cry softly, keeping his sobs quiet. Yeah, everything has left me. That's what he mutters. Yukiko had talked about how her father had lost his own parents, his wife, when he was still young himself. Maybe that pile of stone is for someone from his family. Everyone he loves leaving him behind. That can't be an easy life. Maybe he's here cursing these Jizo for the fate he has had to lead. Or maybe he's begging for their aid. I watch the old man standing weathered by the sea breeze. Then the memories from the real world cut out. I'm back in my own empty Natsuguri. Having witnessed memories from the real world and getting involved again, I took back the plane ticket from that stubborn sad old man and helped his daughter to make her dream come true. Maybe she'll never know about this suit's philandering ways, or have a chance for an open and honest discussion with her father. Even so, that has to be better than a world of despair for all. With her having to give up on her dream so close to its realisation, I have to believe her, and believing it is the only thing I can do. I stand there for a long time. Another failure to return to my own world, and another failure to find a common memory with the people of Natsuguri. My hands start to feel strange, and I bring them up to my face. They are both semi-transparent. I can see the grass on the ground behind them. I squeeze my eyes tightly closed and then open them again to see my hands are back to normal. What's the meaning of this then? It's like my body is fading away. Is this how I will return to my own world? Or if I don't hurry up, will I vanish completely? If I'm going to vanish though, where will I go next? Into the light or merge into that darkness? Who knows? I'm back in the heavy, oppressively cold depths of the ocean. I move my hands and legs in desperation. I want to return to the light. The chaos I create by thrashing around does create some light, for just a moment, but then soon vanishes into the darkness again. If the hollow emptiness around me is just going to swallow everything, what's the point in even existing? What's the point in craving illumination? What lies behind my intervention in the world of the people of Natsuguri? If I want answers from the heavy cold depths around me, it doesn't seem like I'm going to get them. Natsuguri Memory Fragment 2, complete. People's voices, the sounds of everyday life, the sound of trains, the sound of cars. I'm cast back into the world where none of these exist. It almost feels like I'm back at square one. I've seen fragments of the memories of the people in Natsuguri, but I still don't know why I've been sent into this world. When I think of the possibility of vanishing without even knowing who I am, fear grips me again. Why have I wandered into this world? Why can I see things that happen in Natsuguri? Why am I being shown them? I wonder how they are connected to me. I consider the possibility that I'm the girl I just saw, or maybe someone else. I look at my hands, at my body, nothing comes back to me, nothing clicks. Am I really a part of this reality I keep being shown? If I saw myself, would I even know it was me? If I'm not one of these people, then who am I? As I ponder all these things, I look over towards the port and feel like I see something shining there. I better go check that out next. So guys, I will finish this one here, and in the next one we'll go towards the port. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as I am. It's very interesting. Very just like different worlds and what we're doing, and if we're actually the things that we're actually doing to change it, are they good or bad? Like so far, with the 2 memories we've done, even though we have stopped people dying. It's still been kind of a sad ending for both. We'll see if Memory 3 helps us. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.